Alright, today we're going to show you how to do a write-off in AMSI. So, let's first talk a little bit about what a write-off is and what the process is. Central Office reviews all move-out files with an amount due that's left unpaid for 30 days or more. Once we find a resident or past resident that has a remaining balance on their account that's been unpaid for 30 days plus, we send out a collection report to their corresponding property. If your property has collections for that month, you'll receive one of these reports. Once received, you want to review the report for accuracy, make sure that the resident is correct, the move-out date is correct, and they are in fact delinquent with their account. Also verify that the amount is correct. Once you verify those things, indicate whether or not to send the account to collections. So what is a collections report? It looks similar to this, or this is part of it, I should say. And so what you want to do is you want to go under where this is the apartment, this is the resident's name, you want to verify that's right, the amount due. If in fact you do want to send this account to collections, you want to initial under yes. And then you would proceed with the write-off in AMSI. If the account should not be sent to collections, and reasons that it shouldn't be sent to collections include a payment plan that's worked out, you've already received payments, or there's a discrepancy on the central office records, all of which need to be approved by your property supervisor. If that is the case, you want to initial under no, and you can refer to the operations manual on instructions on how to proceed. And you also want to put a brief explanation of your payment terms and alternative reasons why the account shouldn't be in collections. And so let's go and process the write-off in AMSI. So go ahead and pull out your AMSI manual and flip to page 38 so you can follow along the process. Once you have AMSI open, the first thing you want to do is go into your Power Site Residential. From there, we're going to go down to Ledger Activities. And you just want to note in the manual it says write-offs are only processed on a separate journal, so you want to make sure any open journals that have not been posted, you go ahead and post that you're working from a fresh journal. Once you're in Ledger Activities, you'll go down to Write-Offs. Click Enter, and that will take you to this screen. It's helpful to have the resident file on hand so you can verify the amount. So we'll go ahead and search the resident by pressing F3. And then you'll scroll down until you find your resident. So today we're writing off Nina Harris, and just note her status is old. We only write off residents who are old and more than 30 days plus past due with the existing balance on their account. So we'll press Enter to get into her account. And so one of the most important things you want to do when doing a write-off is verify the amount is correct. So the amount in this box and on the collection report and in the Minnesota should all match. If for some reason it doesn't, you want to go back through the resident file and find the discrepancy and adjust from there. So for training purposes, we're going to assume that this amount is correct, and Nina Harris owes us $460. So we'll leave that there, and you'll tab through to description. It always defaults to write-off. We'll just go ahead and leave it there as well. And under reference, we leave that one blank. So tab through. So this is where it lists the different charges that were allocated on her account. It looks like she has $100 for D, which is damages, and $360 in rent that was unpaid. And so when you're doing a write-off, you always code the charge to the same thing code the write-off to the same as what was charged originally, with the exception of R, which is rent, big R. And so here we're going to code it as D because that's how it was charged. But with this one, since it's big R, we're going to code it to U, which is, again, the only exception. Code that to U. The amounts are correct, so we'll go ahead and press F10 to save the screen. You want to exit out of this and then go into, we're going to go post the journal, so you want to go into View and Edit Transactions. And then your journal that we just worked from is this one, so you want to click Enter. And as you can see, we've written off $460. It says description as write-off, the type is write-off, so it all looks right. We'll go ahead and press F7 to print. And next we want to post the journal. So we're going to go into post journal, and it will prompt us and ask if it's the correct journal. Verify it's the right journal. In order to post the journal, you're going to need to copy this section exactly how it is on the transaction journal. And as you can see for this transaction journal, it's negative $460. So you want to put that under adjustments, 460. So it matches exactly the report that just printed. Press F10 to save the screen. Once you've written the account off in AMSI, you have one more step left to go. You want to fax the completed collection report as well as the posted transaction journal from AMSI to the central office. There's a due date on the collection report as well as on your operations calendar, so make sure that you get it in before that due date. Once the resident has been written off in AMSI, the central office will send them to collections. If the resident attempts to contact you and make a payment, you want to refer them to the collection agency. We are no longer allowed to accept payments from the delinquent residents once we've already sent them collections. And you can always refer them to the central office if they need further explanation of our policies. And so that is how you do a write-off in AMSI.